We're back. Stupid app. Ugh. I knew it would do that. Just randomly just crashed. Anyway. Well, I've lost my train of thought now. Ugh. Hello. You're back. What happened to your end? Describe what happened. Did it just disappear? What happened there? All right. Oh, it's a new. Yeah. 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 What was just happening? I tell you when I was just basically talking to you. Then you just jumped out, obviously disappeared, and I thought, oh, that sometimes happens, you know. And I thought, oh, let's see if you pop back on. And, and then what happened was, then what happened was, I just kept walking. I said there is a nice fountain I can show you, but it's about half a mile out the way. So if you're watching a replay, I'll send you a link to the fountain. Yeah, I can feel I'm getting a bit fatigued now. I've been walking since I think I've been walking since about 12 o'clock. So my legs are sort of starting to say, "Have a sit down now. Find a hot drink." Yeah, it's okay because it's the viewers are keeping me motivated. You see, I wouldn't have. Obviously, it's a big circular walk I go on, and obviously I've kept stopping for show you things. So I would have cut it short if Derby's on. I usually could do this length with Derby or any other the people would pop in. Right, I was just going to show you basically we're just entering now. If you've just noticed the terrain's changed, and we basically built what this is called Hanley Park. This is the third park I was trying to get to. You can see it's a nice park, and it's basically built around the canal. So the canal goes through the middle of the park, and the park has been built around the canal, as you can see. It's basically Darby just has your accent like that. She says nice. She talks like Darby talks like you. She says nice. Oh, we always have a bit of fun with her. I've got to try and think of the twang in your voice towards. I just make fun of Darby how she says some words. I don't know if you're on the same sort of accent, sort of trajectory where you are in Derby. I think you're on a similar plane. I think to the accent sounds similar. Uh, Let me just think where we are. Let me just think where we are. We might see some squirrels. Hang on. Let me just think. Let me just think. Yeah, this is Hanley Park. This is one of our. Obviously, when I said I've got Hanley, Fenton, Longton, Burslem, and Tunstall, those little towns. Obviously, each of them have got their own Victorian park, and this is Hanley Park. This is the biggest one, and I'll just see if I can see some squirrels. Hang on. Let me just. There's a pavilion. There's a nice pavilion over there. You can see the pavilion. There's a clock on the top. There's a pavilion. There's a bandstand. Play music. You know. Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, this is basically obviously. Um, I've never seen any, obviously, but I've never been in this park so much since the lockdown's been on. And when you just crashed, I've been this way 3 times, and when that just crash just happened, it just distracted me from going the right way. So I've just gone the wrong way again. Hang on, I've just got to go back on myself. Hang on, doesn't matter. I'm just trying to think where I can show you a little bit of running water, and we might see some squirrels. So as long as we've got a connection, we're fine. Uh, I said hopefully we might have a nice sunset. It's a good day. You can sit outside the pavilion and get a nice sunset. But I think the sun's moved because a few months ago I used to sit outside the pavilion, and the sun used to be sort of over there. A nice orange sunset I used to get, and then now it's over there. So it seems to be moving as the year's going on. I'm getting a bit of an expert on where the sun goes. It's like look at this tree trunk carved out of things. There we are. Oh my goodness, look at that. I've never seen that before. Can you see what it's carved out of? Look. Ooh. Is the bird? Is it a plane? Don't think it's Superman. Hang on, looks like a bird. Hang on. There's a bat. That looks like a bat. There's a bird. There's a bird on the top. Now that's weird. That's the first time I've noticed this. So there's an owl. Yeah, there's a bird. Hang on. I've never noticed this before. There's a woodpecker. Yeah. Oh, you miss things. The times in this park, and I've missed that one. That looks like an owl. I think that's an owl. That looks like a heron. I think that's a heron. Yeah, I've just missed that. I don't know where. I don't know why I missed that. Yeah. So anyway, what I was having in my mind, I thought I'll show you the three parks. So basically, we've arrived. I've shown you Forest Park, and then we walked to Westport Lake, and then we've come back along the canal. Oh, the daffodils are coming out. Got the daffodils out there. Yeah, they're out. They're out. The mini. Well, they're like mini ones, don't they? You can see mini ones. These are like the mini ones are out. Yeah, I think they are daffodils. I've seen crocuses, but these seem like the miniature ones. They seem like mini daffodils. I think we call this like a summer house. That looks like a little summer house. Oh yeah, yeah. That's a nice marble floor. Look with a picture on the bottom. Two birds. Look at that. Oh right, no, no. I say it just looks like something like a wedding chapel on like the beach in Hawaii, doesn't it? Like a little wedding. People get married at like little wedding things. And when they get married on the beach, they usually stand in one of those, don't they? Them little gazebos. Right, let's. Yeah, we basically this is just called a little nature area. They basically tried to make like it's a wildlife preserve. They put lots of bird boxes up to try and attract a lot of birds, you know. So go down this way, and you might hear you'll hear the sound of water in a minute. It's obviously a Victorian park. You can see they put all these rocks in. There's a little bit of a stream. I think this has been here since about 1890. I think this is like a Victorian style park. Oh yeah, all the crocuses are out. Yay! Let's go look at the crocuses. I can see them all. You see them all coming out randomly in the grass. Look. Yeah, they're all coming out. Look. Darby says she can't believe all my flowers are out already. Oh right, right. Yeah, Darby's really surprised. She says she usually uses this as a rule of thumb for her is obviously Mother's Day. You don't normally see anything until after Mother's Day, so nice to see some colour. Nice to see some colour. And we're basically in like a little bit of a wooded area where you sometimes see squirrels, so keep your eyes peeled and we might see a squirrel. Yeah, they've made it into like a little stream, like a little wooded area. Look, in the corner of the park, it's like a little wooded area. You should be able to hear some bird sounds. I think I'm going to hear a little bit of birds tweeting. I can see a little bit of a waterfall there. There we go. Yeah, it's a nuisance hours when the app crashes. Just trying. It's nice to just obviously I'm not saying the app's crash, but it's nice just to have it all in one go because I think people get confused if you keep restarting the scope. They wonder what you're doing, like you know. So yeah, these look like. Oh, thank you. These look like These look like mini daffodils. You know, they aren't the full size ones. These look like mini ones. Yeah, yeah. Oh, we are. There's some squirrels. Oh, hang on, hang on. I've just seen. Yeah, yeah. I didn't. They must be called something. Obviously, I don't think they're crocuses. They just look like. Oh yeah, I can see a squirrel. Get ready for the squirrels. They're quite quick movers. Hang on. I can see a squirrel. Hang on. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've got some nuts for them actually. If they come to me, depends if they're friendly ones or not, and then they come to you if they. Some of them will take it out your hand, some of them do. It just depends if they're used to human contact. Hang on. Hang on. Keep still. I was just saying, say there's no need to bark. It's not that exciting. All right. Yeah, I've just got some. I can give it a nut if it comes to me. Hang on, let me try and. We basically feed it with monkey nuts. That's what we call them in England, monkey nuts, Luke. It's like a peanut with the shell still on. Monkey nut. Yeah. Yeah. Where's he gone? He's going to hide now, isn't he? Watch. He's going to hide now. Keep still. Where's he gone? Let me just try and get his attention. Oh yeah, he's there. Yeah, look. I'm trying to give him a nut. I'm just trying to get his attention. Where's he gone? Let me just see where he is. Let me just throw him this nut. Hang on. I'm going to throw his nut now. There you are. He's got it. There you are. Yay! Oh, there you are. Going. I wish you'd keep still. I'm trying to get you on periscope. Oh, you moving. Video killed the radio star. Do, 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 do. Oh yeah, here's another one. Hang on. Come on. Oh, this one's coming to me. Oh yeah. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Some of them take it out. Yeah, I think they more the baby ones. I think. But what you'll do is you see, look, he's burying it. Look. Yeah. No, you know what they do? They're that intelligent. What they do is they pretend to bury it in case any other predators are watching, and they pretend to bury it. Oh, we are. Quick, he's there. They pretend to bury it. See how he pretended on the grass, and then he's gone to his proper place now. Look. They basically do like a false place where they're going, in case predators are watching, and then they go somewhere else. They aren't silly. They know what they're doing. Let's have a look at the crocuses. Hang on. There's the crocuses. I mean, you could spend an hour in this park. How much stuff there is here. Yeah, let's go to the crocuses again. There's the crocuses. Different. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I need a sort of gardening expert to tell me what those mini daffodils are. Obviously, they aren't the full size ones. Yeah. Ah, right, right, right. Now we know. Right. Yeah. When I think of black, I think of Black Narcissus. That was a film, wasn't it? Black Narcissus. I think that was a movie. I think Black Narcissus. I think that was a crime drama from 1930. I think Black Narcissus. When there was somebody got murdered who was a film star. I think Black Narcissus. Sounds familiar. Right. I can hear the sound of water. Let's experiment down here. Let's go have a wander. I can hear the sound of water. As long as you can see me picture, let me know you're okay with picture, and then oh, let's go down this little bridge. Yeah, look at this. Whoop. Don't fall. Oh, yeah, there's a squirrel as well. Hang on. Where is he? They're everywhere. Hang on, I just saw a squirrel. Hang on. Keep still. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're a bit. They seem like, yeah, they seem, that's what it is. Yeah, they're a bit skittish, I think, at the moment. A lot of kids about because the schools are off at the moment, so there you are. Let's enjoy the sound of water. Let's have just a bit of a zen. Let's have a zen moment for 30 seconds. Hang on. Oh, right. That's enough. Yeah, we're blocking the. Yeah. Every time you come down this area of the park, there's always like a. You probably know what I mean. I can smell like a sweet smell in the air of some sort of unusual tobacco product. Do you know what I mean? Yes, yes, yes. The sort of sweet smell in the air of. Technically, it's illegal in England, I think, but obviously you smell it all the time. It's technically. I don't know about medicinal, but technically you would get arrested if you were stopped. Obviously, with so much, I suppose. I don't know. Technically, yeah. It's there's not much you can have fun with in England. There's always a problem. Oh, we are. We've even got the local police coming. Shh, shh. The police are coming. They're patrolling. The British police have just gone past, Luke. Clear off. I know. Yeah. Yeah. I know what they're driving round for. They're just driving round for stop us having any fun. They're the fun police. They're the fun police to see if we're all talking. Just making sure we're not. I think they're just keeping an eye out for big groups of people. They don't want big gatherings of people. They're just keeping their eye out. Oh, now these ducks are waiting for food now. Look at them, how patient. Look at the difference. Look. Some sit and wait for food and some just swim away from you. You want food, do you? You do? Come on then. Yeah. Yum, 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 yum. This is proper bird and swan food. Oh, yeah, the kind of geese want some now. I hope these are coming. Yeah, it's this, look, proper pallets that float. It's like swan and duck food. It floats on the top. No, I mean traditionally. Oh, that's a nice sunset. The nice sunset forming. Look, sunset. Should get a nice a sunset. The only option I've got is obviously walking all the way back to my park where I live, but I started there, so I think I'll just take my time now where we are, and we'll call this the last park. I won't go because you can get a nice sunset in this park. Oh, yeah, it's a mushroomy thing. Yes, I think it's a carving of a mushroom with some sort of natural mushroomy growth on it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think they've been designed. Yeah. Let me just check if we're missing any comments. Or there's just jumping back on who's joined us. Vegan Life, Happy Life, hello. Young Stank, Kane, Abdullah, hello. Carl, got Breezy Badass in. Oh, Gary's back. Jackie Girls in, hello Jackie. Sorry, Keep Dreaming's in, hello. Just make sure I'm not missing any comments. Yeah, if you make sure you share it out for me, get some more viewers in. Plenty of viewers, plenty of retweets, plenty of sharing out. Let's get some more viewers in. We can't always rely on Darby because she's a busy lady. Oh, this is my phone going. Just a second. Uh, yeah, we've just got the car in the garage at the moment. They're having some repairs. Hang on, we're just getting. I'll just see if I can get it out. My bottomless bag of goodies. Hang on. Oh, hang on. Silly me. Hang on. Let me just answer the phone. It'll be a second. Oh, hello. Yeah, I'm in Hanley Park. I'm just slowly on my way to Costa and that way. Right, yeah. I'm just still periscoping, so just keep it short. Right. Yeah. What would you mean, Lee? You can do it. Just periscoping with a guest on at the moment. I don't know what to tell you to do. Is he going to repair it? Right. Yeah, I know. That's what we're thinking. Yeah, a lot of corrosion. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what all those false alarms were, the rust in the sensor. Yeah, okay. You want to give that a try then? It's all back to normal. It's all put back together, you mean? Well, if you want, does you want you just see how it goes? Because you just had a look and that's it. You may as well then. Just see how it goes and then bring it back. Yeah, well, well, that's up to you, isn't it? So just fetch it then and see how you go. Then you'll have to take it back. It's up to you. How much time's that giving me? How long's that giving me? 5:30. Uh, yeah, well, it's still light, isn't it? Yeah, say 5:45 at Sainsbury's then. Does that give me an hour? Yeah, 5:45 then. Okay. Right. Okay. Sorry about that. Just yeah, we're having some strange issues. We basically got I don't know. Well, we're not trying to talk about cars, but we basically just we basically got an ABS light, and the ABS light's been constantly coming on and off for the past about 2 months. It just randomly comes on and off, and obviously the garages say, "Well, we need it really to stop on if there's a fault." It just randomly comes on and goes off, and comes on and goes off. So we've been to the Honda dealership. We've just got an old Honda. It's not a new one. It's like an old Honda Civic, about 20 years ago. It's like not a new one. And basically they just did a test. They just did the computer test. Where you get the fault codes up. Yeah, like the diagnostic, and they said it was the battery, and I went, battery. Okay, so we just went with what they said, and we had a new battery, and it's still coming on the same. Uh, and then they did another test, and obviously what the code is now is basically we've got ABS, but obviously we haven't got disc brakes all round, which I thought was just a front of the car issue. They basically say no, there's a sensor on each wheel, that feeds the computer with information on each wheel, even though we've only got disc brakes at the front and drum brakes at the back. So basically, obviously, when we took it somewhere the third time, who was supposed to repair it, basically the garage said, this is what's gone, the job is going to be £500, and this is what we think the problem is. And obviously we don't want to spend a lot of money on an old vehicle. So I said, how much is the part? And they said the part was £350. I thought just for a new set, and I think basically they wanted a new sensor on one corner of the wheel. There's a sensor on the wheel apparently. Anyway, so basically, I mean, obviously, it's my mum's car, so obviously, I'm just going back and forward between the problems. So we're trying to get it sorted, and obviously, we could just probably ignore it, but they updated the roadworthiness certificate in England this year, so you can't just have you can't basically have a warning light on, else it'll fail the safety check. If the warning lights come on. So obviously, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, they basically it's called an MOT, and it's basically you take it in the garage and they just check the tyres, the brakes, the exhaust, just for safety and roadworthiness, and the brakes and the suspension, the steering, and then obviously they tighten up the rules because the catalytic converter on cars, I think, basically on diesel cars, you could just to pass the test, to pass the emissions, you could remove the catalytic converter to just get it through the emissions test. And obviously they've clamped down on that now, where you can't. You have to have it fitted to the vehicle. Yeah, you have to have it fitted to the vehicle. You can't just take it off just to pass the emissions. I think that's on diesel vehicles, and then obviously what we basically did was that garage said the main Honda dealer said 500. We went to something called Quick Fit, which is basically a drop off and wait type of establishment where you don't have to book it in. You can just pull up and they'll do your brakes, tyres, exhaust, battery, whatever. And they said, oh, we can do it a lot cheaper. So I said, okay. And then basically what happened there was the man phoned me mum and said, where the problem is, hush, where the problem is there's obviously a lot of rust underneath, corrosion. They could see a lot of rust. And he just basically said there's a lot of corrosion where the area is. And he was just warning us that obviously if he started to strip the car down, he might break some parts, obviously stripping a lot of items down that have never been undone for 20 years, probably some old components. So basically, that scared my mum off, and she sort of said, "Let me think about it." And so I said, "Well, I don't know." And obviously, I don't know what she's going on with, but I said, "Just let him get on with it." So anyway, basically, this is somebody else's recommendation. We basically took it to a third garage now, um, and basically, we got the light to come on while we were there. We said, "Oh, the light's come on! Look, it's come on!" But it just randomly comes on and goes off. Um, and basically, my mum has just rang me. It's been at the garage all day. He's basically had a physical look underneath. He's took all the wheels off and had a good physical look. If there's anything obvious. And he just says there's a lot of corrosion where the sensors are. So it could have been giving perhaps false readings, if there's a lot of corrosion where the magnetic sensor is. So it's basically, my mum was just putting me on the spot and said, "Do you want to leave the car or pick it up?" So I said, "Well, you've just heard me say, well, does he need parts, or is he just sort of saying, see how it goes?" So I think it sounds like he's obviously had a good look visually. He's done something that he thinks might remedy it. And all obviously you can really do is take it home and see how it goes, and then take it back if it's still the same. So we're in that funny bit of a chicken and egg really with the car, because obviously people can only do something and then say, just see how it goes. So yeah. Oh, there's a nice sunset for us. Anyway, we're getting off the topic, aren't we? Oh yeah, that's let me just take a to that. Yeah, it's picture time, screenshot. Hang on, let me just get that solar flare out of the way. Hang on. Oh, hang on. There we go. There we go. Yes. So yeah, I was just miles away telling you the history of the park, and I mean, my mum was just rang about the car, and obviously she asked my opinion, and I think, well, we just want the garage to repair it. It's just a bit of a strange issue. So anyway, I mean, at the moment we've got enough going on, obviously with this lockdown. I don't really want to mither with it. I'd rather wait until we're probably back to normal. It's just some more hassle because the roadworthiness thing doesn't run out till about the end of July. So I said, well, you've got till the end of July. You haven't got to be panicking about rectifying it straight away. But yeah, I mean, I've got a license. My mum likes to drive. She passed the test late on in life, so she enjoys driving. She passed quite late, so I think she's 81 now. She's like a sprightly 81. She likes driving. Yeah, she enjoys driving. Uh, and she just asks me my advice, really. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know a lot about cars, but what can you do? A garage unless a garage just says this is how much it's going to be, and yeah, I mean, it's like I said, all the Honda garage are obviously just going by the codes, and they're saying, oh, the computer has thrown up this code. This is the part you want. So, but obviously he's had a basically just he's done the cheaper option. I think he's charging a £40 to have a good look over it. It's been in the garage all day. So he's just basically checked every corner, and I wish I was there to get some feedback off him, and it's just basically said there's a lot of corrosion where the sensors are, so you can give each corner a good clean, and obviously perhaps see if that stops the false readings. So. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's yeah. Obviously with the when you've got like an error light that just comes on, when you've got an error light that sort of comes on and off. You don't know if is that a fault or not. It's obviously I wish it'd just stay on permanently, and then you can investigate. I don't know what you call it when it just randomly comes on and goes off. Is that a proper fault? It's yeah. What can yeah. I feel like it's like a bad earth or something where it's giving false readings, isn't it? Where it can't like yeah, and obviously with there being a lot of corrosion under the car, I think it's something to do with corrosion and perhaps a poor connection somewhere. Anyway, I've arranged to meet her. Yeah, I know. I've arranged to meet her in about 45 minutes. Well, basically, we'll just decide if we're going to enjoy the sunset from this park. As you can see, we're just starting to get a nice sunset. Look, oh, that's nice. Look at that. Oh, wow. Ooh. Yeah, but obviously, on my way back to the town, I've got to decide if I want a hot drink from Costa and I might have to force myself to go into KFC to get something. Unfortunately, that's on the way home. So anyway, here's a little bit of history. Let's look. This is basically. I don't know if it'll ever come back in fashion, but can you remember when you used to have like a park that sort of rowing boats used to be fashion once upon a time? Yeah, like rowing boats where people used to row, and that seems to be a fashion that's gone. And basically, this right, yeah, basically, yeah, this is basically the boathouse. This is where the boats used to be stored. This is obviously an architectural feature. They've obviously they've refurbished it, and there's a little bit of history here. Look how it used to be. There we are. There's the building with the boats outside. Look, yeah, old black and white photo. Let's see what this says. Hanley Park's boathouse is equipped with a slipway and wet dock for rowing boats. A first floor space originally served as a repair workshop until the 1990s. They've restored it and repaired it and modernised it. Because basically, what we do is obviously, you have your sort of when you have your sort of lottery, when you kind of go on the lottery to try and win £1 million and all that. We basically have a lottery in England, but a lot of the money goes to good causes, and it's like a fund where you can get lottery funding for anything like this, and obviously it goes to a lot of you can apply, and obviously like the council, I think our council have got a lot of money, which is that pavilion we're going to walk past in a moment. They've obviously spent some of that money on doing the pavilion up. There you are, the boat. There's a quote from 1894, Thomas Mawson. There we are. Yeah, that must be when the park was from, 1894. So this is what you call a traditional Victorian park, which obviously most of the cities have got. There's a nice balustrade, the stairs look nice, stone balustrades look. Yeah, we'll try and find a nice spot. I think we'll just enjoy this sunset. I think from a seat somewhere. Let's just find a seat. I think we'll just relax. Well, I can't pull a drink up. You can pull a nice drink up while we're watching the sunset. I know. Can you just make two and just pass it through the screen to me? Okay. I think I'll have cream and sugar. I think. Yeah, I'm glad you've come on because you've kept me motivated. I was just going to read that sign, but I think a tree has just fell over and damaged my sign. So we've got to work out. It says there. Look, it says the trees fell on my sign. So it's egg. That could be things. Let's work that out. Yeah, this is the rest of it. Matters except the sound of your voice. So it said nothing. Nothing matters except the sound of your voice. That must be it. Yeah. Oh right. That sounds a bit like that sounds like a bit of an epitaph to a scoper, doesn't it? Nothing else matters but the sound of my voice. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's a magpie. Is that a magpie? Oh, hang on. Keep still. Is that there? Is that a bird? I think it's a magpie. Yeah, it's got blue blobs and white spots. Yeah, I've got a sign there. What's this say? Do you feel it too? I don't know. It just says, "Do you feel it too?" Oh, that's some cool. Oh wow, some cool shots. Cool shots. Camera. Let's take some cool shots. Right, let's try and go up to the pavilion. I'm just trying to keep an eye on my time. Oh, we're doing well. Just gone. Yeah, it's just gone 5 o'clock. Well, I was just going to. Obviously, I didn't know if the car was going to be available, so I was obviously, even if I didn't feel like, I was going to try and walk all the way home, which is about another half an hour. But I think my legs are saying I've had enough now. They're getting on strike. I think they want to sit down. Uh, oh, look at that. Ooh, all these. I'll keep taking photos when the sun comes out. Hang on. Ooh, that's cool. This is the problem we have with Derby, is every photo I take it has Derby's face in the corner. I've got yours in the corner now. I've got Jeep Girl's photo in the corner. I'll have to crop your photo out a bit. Right. Oh no. I know I get carried away. I've got basically, I've got my wire in. I've got my wire. I've got me, I've got my battery. This is why I have to carry around. Hang on, where's my battery gone? I've got my big battery. There you go, big battery. Got the light. Where's the lights on? Oh yeah, it's nearly gone. It's nearly, oh dear, uh-oh, nearly gone. I don't think. I think it's only, I think it isn't designed for 4-hour scopes. I think it's on its way out. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I'm glad the sun's out. I've got some. This is just what you want. You want the sun shining and somebody to talk to, and then that's what makes a good day. Oh wow! Look at the sun over there. Look at that. I've got the sun over there. You ready? There's the sun over there. And I'm just going to turn around slowly without getting you dizzy. Hang on. Let me just turn around and look in the other direction of the sky, and there's something else there. Look at that. Yeah, it looks full. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of cloud in front of it. I think it's full if that cloud had move out of the way. And it was fascinating me watching that. We've actually got a connection in my town with. I was just thinking about Mars. It's about 95 million miles away. Mars is. I'm not cranking so away. And if you saw some of those shots of the where something's landed on Mars, right? If you look, yeah, you know, like that sort of metal contraption, you know, the thing that's on the planet. Well, if you look at it, there's a piece at the front where you can see circles of colour. There's like a metal plate at the front, and you can see circles of colour, right? And apparently that's made in my town. As obviously when they're obviously watching the footage, they said we need like a really good representation of colour, so they can obviously judge shades of colour while they're watching the footage. You know, they need like a standard of certain colours to use as like a, I think obviously to compare the colours, yeah, like a set colour standard. And if you look at the footage, you'll see like a little plate, and it looks like little circles of different colours. And apparently that was produced in my town. I think, yeah, the company is from this town, I believe. I think they're very accurate. Yes, I think they're very accurate at colour reproduction. Apparently, it's very. I don't know the history, but it's apparently very. It has to be very accurate. Apparently. So. Right, let's go over this Victorian bridge. Just a few stairs. Well, it's just the Victorian part because it was built in 1894, so they call it Victorian when it was built. The whole park's Victorian. As you can see, look at some of these lights going over the. Look at this light pole. Yeah, look at this. Look. Oh, looks like somebody's Roman, I think, with like a Roman god or something with his things on his head. And we've got pine cones, wherever they are. Pine cones. Yeah, I can see a church in the distance. Yeah, there's another church for us over there. Look, can you see? There's another church with the pointy tops. That's, yeah, that's the pointy top variety. That's the technical term, the pointy tops. Uh, Finials, yes. Yeah. Yeah, I think when they look like a castle, I think they're called castellated. When they look like at the top of their church, looks like a castle. I think that's called castellated. Yeah, I think these have been here since the park was open. And these Victorian fences. Look at that. That's nice. Look at that. Yeah, that's what you get with the Victorians. Everything's very decorative, Victorian style. Yeah, No, I think this is all from 1894. Everything we can see, nothing's been. No, this is all 1894. I think. So that's the original. That's the original cast iron bridge. Look, you can see if they've got decoration on the cast iron. Look, looks like that's something from the Titanic. Look, all the bolts. That'll be the original bridge. That will. Yeah, it's like the old cast iron bridge. Oh no! Oh no! 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 Yeah, it's going to look lovely in the summer if you stay with me when all the plants start coming out. It'll be lovely. This, as you can see here, they've all been planted. They've all the new plants have been put in. Look, and those will all be colours in the summer. You can see all these beds there. You can see all the dark area. That's just where they haven't come through yet. But in the summer, this will all be colour. All these beds will be colour. There's the yeah. Here's the bandstand. Here's some more Victorian art. Look at that. Yeah, I think what's happened is obviously when I said to you they've got a lot of lottery money. I think they've obviously they've like refurbished it back to like how it used to be, in 1894. I think that's all painters. And this is what's called the pavilion. This is basically obviously a normal time. You can go in there and get hot drinks and food. Oh, what a shame! I think the sun's gone behind the trees now. I was just going to find a nice seat up here where we could see the sunset. Um, oh, there's another church. We're surrounded by, and there's another one. There's another one. That's another one. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, I don't know. See what it is. When I was sitting here last summer, the sun used to be about there, and now it's sort of behind the trees. Hey, I got some nice sky anyway. Let's get that up. Ooh, let's get a zoom in on that. Ooh, yeah, we're having a productive day, aren't we? We're seeing things today. Right. Yeah, you have to make the most of the sunshine. You never know when you're going to get it. Let's see if the clock's correct. This is a pavilion. This has been boarded up for about 20 years. It was neglected and vandalised, and then they've done it all up now. Look at some nice. There we go. Let's look at the time. There we go. Yeah. Yes. I think Gary's still in. Ooh, got some viewers. Right. Yeah, I was just going to show you a nice sunset, folks, but I think the sun's in the wrong place this time of year. It's obviously over that way behind the trees. So let's have a sit down for 5 minutes. Let's have a sit down for 5 minutes and let's just enjoy the orange sky. I haven't sat still all day. I'll sit down. Oh, stairs, 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 stairs. Oh, yeah. Right, right. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to force myself to sit down for a few minutes. Ah, oh, that's better. There we go. Thanks for the hearts, everybody. Who you tapping? You're tapping. Good. Yeah, I do try and tell people I've got an external link to buymeacoffee.com, which helps to keep me motivated. And obviously, these hearts are just meaningless now. I'm really annoyed with Periscope. That's another Jeep girl. I've got a bit of a gripe with Periscope because it's quite complicated. But I basically, because it's closing down, it tells you to get all your super hearts, claim all your super hearts. You know what people have paid for the super hearts. If you understand, you can buy super hearts, a bit like on Haps. Those awards. Ooh. What's happened is I've got enough. I've got 50,000 super hearts. Right, this is the problem. What annoys me with Periscope? I got 50,000. I looked at the criteria and it says obviously I meet all the criteria apart from I wasn't sure about viewership. How many views I was getting. And they said because obviously they're closing down, they've kept it to a minimum of about 50 live viewers and about I think they said 50 live viewers and 75 replay viewers per broadcast. So basically, I thought I'll just put my name down. You apply. Do you have to be a super broadcaster for get your super heart? So I applied. They said no. That was about the beginning of the year. So the last cut-off day was the 31st of December, 31st of January. So I'll try again on the last day, and they just suddenly said success. Well done. I said, oh, cool. So then they said, right, now you've got to fill this second section of the paperwork in where it just says more of your sort of details, like where you want your money to go. Do you want your money through PayPal and a few bank details, blah blah blah. So I just thought, oh great, cool, I'm gonna get all me coin, all my super hearts. So I left it a few days and I logged back into, obviously like you do, the sort of Periscope website, scope.tv, and you click on Super Broadcaster, which you can do. Obviously, if you're in there, you know what, you can see it. It says Super Broadcaster in the menu. And then I sort of had the shock of my life. It just says, you have been permanently stopped from ever being a super broadcaster. You have not met the terms and conditions, blah, blah, blah. I thought, oh, great. So now they just use an excuse, which Darby thinks is just an excuse. So they don't want to pay out on anybody because I said, well, explain yourself. And they've never got back to me within a week. I said, well, tell me what I've done wrong. And they can't, see. So it might be just a con just to stop paying people out. I don't know what's gone on. From just suddenly say you've been successful and then say no, when all my content is just like it is today. There's no, obviously it says you mustn't have met the criteria. You must have had hate speech or inciting violence or nudity or swearing and I don't do anything that's bad. So it's just an excuse, I think, really. I mean, the only thing I've done is obviously occasionally I played a few seconds of a song, when we've been having a bit of a joke. We've been walking in the rain and I played a bit of Spotify for a few minutes, just if that's what they, for me, I'd rather them just say that's why. But the thing is, if you've done something really bad, they should shut your channel down altogether. Not just say, no, yeah, not just say, oh, you've done something wrong, but we're going to keep your channel open. If you've done something wrong, they shut your channel down. So I just don't know what's going on. So you just got to give up really and just let it go because you email them and they never get back to you anyway. So I said, just tell me what I've done wrong, and they just said, you have not met some of the terms and conditions. But then there's about 6 that you have to read through. You've got the Super Broadcaster terms and conditions, the Periscope terms and conditions, the Twitter terms and conditions, and then there's about 5 terms and conditions. I've done something wrong, and how do I know what I've done wrong? So yeah, well, I saw somebody mention that last year, and I thought, oh, that's a good idea because it's external. And obviously I was thanking people for my super hearts, but I said I'd rather because the problem is, what's good about buying me a coffee is if it basically says on your screen $5 or £5, I get $5. They don't take anything. They basically give me $5 and just charge you a nominal fee just on top, like a little small fee of about 25 cents or something. And then I get the full amount, where any other ways of doing things, Apple and Google always take a chunk of your revenue. So that's why it's best. Obviously, I even thought about Patreon, but the problem with Patreon is more that I haven't really got. Obviously, Patreon people are more where they know they've got lots of content coming their way, and obviously, I don't know if I can keep supplying content all the time. And obviously, Patreon is more about if you subscribe to me and give me X amount of money per month, a bit like on Haps, where you can support people on a monthly basis, like giving money every month. And then you can say, oh, well, there's certain videos for HAP subscribers, or for like Patreon, we'll have special videos just for Patreon viewers, and you start having to get all complicated. And I just like to keep it simple, and just use Periscope really, and just chat to people and just show me surroundings and try and show nice things. And hopefully going forward, obviously, I hope HAPs will get better, and obviously we'll see how Twitter goes because there's a few things in the pipeline with Twitter. If I don't know if you're aware of it, but there's Twitter basically bought an app called Squad, which I think they're going to integrate into Twitter soon, because obviously they'll be removing all the Periscope integration, and I think there's supposed to be some rumours that Squad's going to get, and basically Squad is a bit like how can I explain? Apparently, what's happening, and I'm noticing what's happening because like how Zoom, what they're calling it is, I think they're saying people have got what's called Zoom fatigue, of everything zoom, zoom, zoom. And basically, what the sort of powers that be are saying now, we'll just make our way out and we might get a nicer view past the trees. What some people are saying now is the Zoom fatigue is set in. What the future is now is audio only. I don't know what your view on that is, but they're saying that it's audio only coming back now. That's the way forward, to just have audio meets. So it's basically me not broadcasting anything and just having, like, say, Darby and you and me and six of us just sort of talking, on a screen, like with their little faces flickering when we're speaking. Yeah, but we'd like to see. I thought, why was that going forward going to improve anything when you're not seeing anything? We don't. We can talk while we're showing things, can't we? You know. But apparently, I just had I follow some people who like quite well up on Periscope. I don't know if you follow myself. There's a lady called Joe. There's a lady called Vegan Doe. If you want to follow her, she's good. She does some walks outside. She's called Vegan Doe, Doe. Uh, and that chap who's in Scotland, Andrew, but he calls himself A9630 or something. He doesn't call himself Andrew. But basically, those two invited me to this, what's called, they're calling it Google, I think it's called Twitter Meets, I think, and they basically invited me in last night and I experienced what it was like. And like how you've got your face in the corner, like your face is in the corner now. It's basically, you go into Twitter, where you basically DM your people who you want, like, do direct messages with. And I could like, what I'd have to do is I'd have to instigate like a meeting and say I invited Roland and Darby. I've got to be like the host, and then I'd invite Roland and Darby and Gary. Invite six people in, and then obviously what I think what people are trying to do it as, if I can try and explain. I mean, at first you think, oh well, it's just talking. Let's look at the sky again while we're walking. Ooh, there we are. The sky's on fire. Ooh. Yeah, I think what they're trying to do it as, I think, I think it's probably, they're saying it's nothing to do with the COVID, how you can't meet up, but they're saying it's nothing to do with that because they had it in the pipeline before, Google was saying. But what they're thinking it might be able to do is, because obviously I know we can have like six of us who we know each other, but this lady who's been testing it said if you start a room, sometimes some of the rooms have got 1,000 people in it, just listening. And basically what you have to have is like, it's a bit like a virtual, I think it's like, like, so you have stand-up comedy. I suppose moving forward, it could be like, say, you could be a stand-up comedian and you're basically doing a virtual show, where it's basically called a virtual stage. So you can have so many people who are on the virtual stage, and then you can have as many people as possible just watching, like Periscope. And I think that's the way they're trying to do it, I think. I don't know if you understand. No, it's nothing to do with video. See, they're saying everybody's got Zoom fatigue, and it's all about talking. That's like the new flavour of the month, anyway. So yeah, it's just like a podcast with an audience. Yeah, I don't see moving forward that's helping anybody. Yeah, but anyway, that's apparently there's something called um, there's two competing companies at the moment. Twitter are trying to do something. Can't think of the name. There's Twitter. Oh, Clubhouse. That's it. If you want to research that, it's called Clubhouse. And yeah, I think that's only on iOS. I think Apple. There's Clubhouse, and then I think it's not on Android. But that's on the way forward, because obviously when I watch Andrew and this vegan dough, they are people who've been on Periscope for 5 years and they've got a lot of followers. And obviously I know them through Periscope. So obviously wherever they do, there's obviously they must be like the beta testers for it. They must be obviously, because they're like influencers. If they've got a lot of followers, they're probably getting access to it. So they invited me in yesterday, yeah, and it was very weird. It was just like a screen with our six little faces, and we're all talking. And then when you talk, you see like your picture just flicker like on Periscope, in the corner. You see that little ring flash when you're talking. So I thought, well, what's the point in this? Oh wow! Oh my God! Hang on! Whoa, 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 whoa! Hang on! Quick! Hang on! Hang on! Let me just take a picture, quick! Oh my God, quick. Let me zoom in. Zoom. The sky's on fire. Ooh, crikey. I was just going to go around the corner. Yeah, ooh, it's gone yellow. I was just going to go around the corner because we'll get a nice, we've got one last. Oh, it's shining through those windows. Look, oh my God. Now look at that, quick. I'm being distracted by the sun. Hang on. Oh my God. Ooh, shining through the windows. That's cool. Ooh. Yeah, I think it's just ooh, hang on. Oh my God, hang on. Oh, that's good. That's gonna. Ooh, hang on. We're getting carried away by the sunset. Hang on. Oh my God. I was just trying to time it right. It's typical. Just when we're just coming out the park now, the orange sun's come now because this is sunset now. It's always a pain because about the last 10 minutes of the sun before it disappears, you always get it nice and yellow or orange. It always does it the last. I was just going to try and get bit with it. I was just going to try and get it. Don't trust it go nice. I'm just going to stop filming. Hang on. Oh. This is the trouble is you've got to be really accurate with your timing. And you've got, obviously you've got all these buildings in the background and you've just got to get the yellow sun just where there's no buildings blocking the sky. We need a yellow orange sun and there'll be no buildings in the way. But I'm just going to try and find a. I'm just going to try and get the church in the background. There's the church we're heading to. Look, here's another church. There we are. This is where I'm just trying to get the church in the foreground before the sun goes. Oh, shoot. Oh my God, look. Yes. Yes. Yes, thank you for. I'm just being distracted by the sun now. I'm glad you've. Well, you can't have a better day than a nice call-in lady, and a nice sunset. So, thank you for. Yes, I'm. Yeah, I'm just going to be walking for. Yeah, I'm just going to be walking for about another 10 minutes. But what I'm hoping is, when I walk down a few more streets. Oh, oh, yeah. Okay. Bye. Oh, right. I was just going to say, I'm just going to. Hopefully, I can get to. There's a bit of the road down here where there's no buildings in the way. I think what I'm going to do is restart. I think I might restart. Forget people watching the sunset. Uh, right. Trust that come now. Oh, it's a nuisance. I wish you knew it was going to go orange, and you could be in the right location for it. Thanks for watching, Jeep Girl. I was, I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna end it when I get to the. I'm just gonna end it when I get to the Costa Coffee for my hot drink. As I was just saying, I think I'm just going to miss the. There's a bit down here where there's no buildings on the left-hand side, and get a nice view of the sky. Try and get this church in the foreground. It's always a pain. This is just trying to be where the sky is. Where's the comments? Just stupid things. Oh, Gary's still with me. Yeah, we're just trying to go to Costa, Gary. This is always just trying to get the exact timing. I just wish I lived where you could lived where you saw the sunset. Because the trouble is now, I've seen the sky is lovely, and I'm just trying to get to the point where there's no buildings blocking the skyline. So I've just got to walk. I'm just going to tell Jeep Girl I've just got to walk a few streets away to. I've got an area where there's no buildings in the way. And what a shame. You can obviously always say right place, right time. And I said, if I'd have known it was going to be like this, it could have been a lovely place where I'd have a lovely shot of the sky. But this is what always happens to me. When it's a lovely orange sky, I'm always a mile away from because the problem is you only get this nice sky about 10 minutes before the sun disappears. So I think by the time I get to where I need to go, where I want to go, it'll probably disappear. Let's see if we can go across this. Road, and we might make it around this bit where there's no buildings blocking the view. Keep your fingers crossed. We just got to go around this corner, and then we've got no buildings to block the view. Oh, it's always a nuisance when you. I just wish you knew. I know it was going to be nice, and then you could get your timing for. Be in the right place for the sun. I think we've just missed it. Anyway, we've got plenty of screenshots. Oh. This is the fun of just because it's sunny doesn't mean you're always going to have a nice sunset, and you've just got me. I should be an expert by now. Oh, I can smell fried chicken. You've got to be an expert by now to be in the place just at the right time. I think we've missed it now. I think that was just what we get. You only get about 10 minutes of where it's like orange, and then your mind's going, go to the good sunset location, and then you're just so frustrated when you get there. You get there and the sun's gone down, but you'll have to. There's the moon. Yeah, see, Jeep Girl, when you have a call, then it makes you do your full walk. You see, I've just done extra walk today because I didn't know if the car was going to be available. It might have been the garage, so we're just trying to solve it. Oh, we just missed the best bit. That's what you get. See where Jeep Girl was. You just see it over there now. Just trying to get a place where there's nothing blocking the sky. Hang on, let's get that one. Yeah, I think we just missed some of it now. Just there's an art to trying to get a sunset. You've got to know it's coming. And then, like I said, when I realise it's a nice sunset, I'm a bit of a distance away from the place I need to be. So by the time you get there, it's always gone. This is why I usually have Derby on reading the signs. Yeah, I'll keep showing you Jeep Girl till we get to where we're going. Another 5 minutes. I'm just going to go to the coffee shop and then finish. Yeah, it's a shame we've just missed the intensity. This is the place I was trying to walk to where there's nothing blocking the sky apart from this fence. Let's get a nice shot while we're here. Let's try and zoom in. I'll have to do, that's it. That would have been lovely if it had been here 10 minutes before. Look. Just missed it. Well, looks cool on my phone. Looks a lot better on your phone than in reality. I just hope they'll hurry up and sort this land out. It's had this, every time there's a nice sunset, this is the place where you can see it over the fence. You've got to try and get over the fence. Oh yeah. Let's do a widescreen. Oh, turn into a photographer once you have these nice sunsets. Yeah, unfortunately we've got this stupid fence in the way. This is the problem what you get when you try and get sunsets, you see. You don't have much time. You see it's nice and then you haven't got time to get to the best location for it. So you probably see other people will be popping up on periscope in a minute, all doing the sunsets. Yeah, let's get some more screenshots. Plenty of screenshots. Plenty of screenshots. A shame we just missed it. What a shame. It's always the same. I say the sun's in a different place. I was just going to stay in Hanley Park for the sunset. But the sun's behind the trees. It's probably move round later on in the year. Hopefully all this land that they're reclaiming will have something interesting on it eventually. Hopefully they'll do something with this land. It's been empty for a long time. It's been like this 20 years, just derelict. And when they basically built this Tesco, we had a big supermarket built on this land. They just said they were going to have this road, and when Tesco was built, they were going to have loads of new units on this where we are. Ooh, there's some holes. Ooh, I don't know. That looks old. What's that there? Right. Oh, it is a long way. Where's this Costa Coffee? This is my fault doing a circular walk. I could have, when we're by the canal, I could have come up this road. Ooh, orange. I could have come up this road, but I've come the long way round. So we've just missed the sunset. And now it's behind a building. Oh dear. Anyway, done my best for you. Done my best. It's just, but you can never know it's going to be nice. So, no, we just had a sunny day. That's all I knew. Sunny day. And I say with having Jeep Girl on, or Derby comes on, we've had a little bit of a longer walk, and unfortunately the car dealership's blocking the sunset now. I'll just show you that for another 5 minutes, and I'll end the scope when I get to Costa Coffee. Oh, look at the clouds. Ooh, cool. Yeah, I'm still trying to build my channel, so if anybody likes the content, if they take screenshots and share it, retweet it on. If you retweet it, but I don't seem to get very far with retweets, but you try retweeting it and then share it on Periscope. And I've already tried Haps, so I just don't know what's going to happen moving forward. So I've been out all afternoon, and I've been trying Twitter Live, Periscope and Twitter Live, and then I did Haps for an hour, then I popped back on Periscope. It just bamboozles your brain trying to keep doing two formats, because Haps is there, you just can't really wait to. In your mind, you just don't really want Periscope to go, but it's just confusing you to keep trying to broadcast to Periscope and Haps and trying to find the happy medium. Yeah, I've just done good timing. Well, the timing isn't too bad. I'm just going to meet somebody at Sainsbury's in 5 minutes. Just been held up with all that sunset distracting us. We're just on our way to Costa. Just having this as a treat after me. Have this as a treat after me walk, after me mega exercise nature walk. I'm just testing all the apps. There's Sainsbury's. I'm just going to get a drink, and then there's Sainsbury's. It's a local supermarket. We'll just say this is my day. This is my daily routine. Go on my exercise, get a coffee, and then go Sainsbury's for some supplies. So we'll just get to TGI Friday's taxi, and that's where I usually finish my broadcast on. I say I'll say it's getting lighter nights now. So obviously it's 5:45. I think it's light till 6 o'clock now. So I say I'll try and do some latest scopes that might help the American viewers. But I tend to get a lot of new people on Haps and not Periscope. So I'm getting no new people coming on this Periscope. Anyway, I'll have a look at the. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll just sign off now. Thanks, Gary, Roland. I'm going to see Marco today, or Derby, Roland. Jeep Girl's been keeping me company. So I'll just finish it there now, folks. Thanks for watching. I do try and do daily scopes. Try and support me and join me on my daily walks. Keep me motivated till all this lockdown's over. And as Jeep Girl said, I'm on all the socials: Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram. And give me a follow on Twitter for future updates. Let me know if you're not a British person, anything you want me to show you. And so if you want to support the channel, I'm on buymeacoffee.com/JaceTheWho. You can support the channel, and it'd be much appreciated to keep me motivated. Hopefully I'll speak to you on my daily scopes on Twitch or on Haps or Periscope. Okay folks, stay safe everybody. Bye for now.